Hello everybody, welcome back to Erndale's. My name is Dale. I'm so happy to see you this week. I hope everybody's had a really good week. It's been kind of a up and down week for me this week. Hasn't been the best, but whatever. I have a few things to show you this week. Different things maybe than what you would be expecting, but I do have one thing I know that you are expecting to show you, and I will in a minute. I just want to tell you that I am on Facebook as Erndales. I have an Instagram account, Erndales, and my email address, as well as those two things, are always in the description below if you want to talk to me or ask me questions or contact me in any way. That's where you can do it. So I got a bit of a frog in my throat. It's been really cold here the last couple of days. We had snow again for the second time, but it's pretty much gone. But it's so cold and windy that it just goes right through you. It's only 2 degrees Celsius, I think, which, you know, it could be a lot colder than that at this time of the year, but it's just bone chilling to me. So I'm not going outside. I'm staying in the house. I've been a little under the weather anyway, so I think it's just good to stay put. So what have you been waiting for? Have you been waiting to see Olive's bear by chance? I think you might have. I have her here. She's all done, and I love her. It's going to be really hard to part with this little one. Hello, everybody. Didn't she turn out adorable? Oh, I love this bear. And I think Olive's going to really love her too. So I will do a close-up at the end of this video. I'll just show you, I'll take the camera off the tripod and show you a close-up of all her features. But yeah, she's got her little doll here in her pocket. But she turned out amazing. And I really want to do my memory bear now, but I'm going to wait till after into the new year because I've got things that I'm finishing up. I've got a lot of knitting to do, and but now I really want to work on my bear. But she turned out great. I'm very happy with her, and I hope you who are doing a bear like this are going to be just as happy with yours because it turned out to be a really great project. So who said you couldn't slow stitch a bear? Here's proof that you can. I didn't give this bear a name. I did make it a scarf because I think I mentioned this in my last video on her, that she's going to be living in the Yukon, and most bears have a bow or something around their neck. But because she's going to be living in the Yukon, I decided that she should have a scarf. So along with her charming little self and her scarf, I also did make her a little blanket. So she has her own little blanket that she can go to sleep with. And I also made a little ornament for Olive as well. And I've showed you this in that last video that I did, I think. I just did her a little cross-stitch angel sitting on a moon. So I think I might, if I have time, I'm not mailing this until the threat of the postal strike is over. And actually, I just read that they have a mandate to strike on the 15th, which is a couple of days. So I'm not going to mail. I'm not putting it in the mail until all of that is done. But it's for Christmas anyway. So hopefully it'll still get there in time for Christmas. So I might, if I can do it, if I can squeeze it in, I might make Olive a pair of little socks too, knit her a pair of socks. But this is her bear, an unnamed bear, and along with the bear, I am going to write a little, this whole project started with a poem. I read to you the poem that I wrote for my son and his bear, and I've been thinking about a poem to go along with this one, and I might yet do that too. If I do, I will read that to you. But if I don't get the poem written, I will put an explanation for her mom about the process of this bear. She can watch the videos as well, but I want to point out some of the fabrics that are in this bear and why I chose them. For instance, this here fabric right here, this here is from Olive's, count them now, great, 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 great grandmother. So that is actually 7 generations this piece of fabric is from. And she was a quilter, and I have a piece of her, well, I have a whole quilt of hers that hasn't been finished, and I snagged a little piece of fabric from that quilt to put in with Olive's bear. Let me see, this piece here was a piece from my mom. So that would be Olive's great grandma. That was her fabric. And then there's pieces in here from Aunt Margaret. Let me see, anything that's purple would have been from Aunt Margaret because she was the purple queen, that one. This piece here on the foot, that's a piece of Aunt Margaret. So I'm going to explain all that for for Olive's mom, so that she knows the meaning of the pieces, some of the pieces in this quilt. Some of them are mine. There's another piece that was my mom's. She did a blouse out of that for herself. So yeah, there's our little slow stitch bear, and she's totally adorable. I think there are other, I've been thinking about, before I did the scarf and stuff, I was thinking about maybe doing some more blanket stitches on the joins of, like the seams of the bear, but you could do that if you want. That's another option for an extra finish, but this bear doesn't need it. For instance, you could have done blanket stitch up and down this seam here, but she's perfect just the way she is she not? So there she is. That project's all done. I am going to do a little video with that other picture of my Pookie on it, just to finish that whole series. And that will be the same as the video, the little clip that I'm going to do on the end, just to give a little close-up view of Olive's bear. But there she is, as cute as she can be, and I'm going to miss her. I really am. This bear is probably well over 200 hours of work. So it's not a valuable bear in materials, but in hours and in love, it's very valuable. So there she is. Isn't she wonderful? I've been working on Molly, and I put her other ear on. And now what I'm doing is I'm just going around with some paint, and I have these other paint pens. They're a paint marker. They're permanent, and I'm just filling in little areas where I'm trying to get rid of some of this little bit of white. I want to leave most of this white so that you know that it is jeans. But I'm trying to soften it a little bit. And there's areas where I just want to darken the edges a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of definition. Just to add a little bit more depth to some of it. Not all, just here and there. Of course, what you're seeing is a lot brighter because the phone brightens it up quite a bit. I have a lot of work to do here around the eye. And there's another part of the eye that has to go in here, but I want to darken this all up. Just do a little bit of shading around this area here. It just adds a little bit of dimension to the piece. don't darken all the pieces, just some. I did this with Levi as well. And especially around the eye, you want to darken around the eye. That helps to pop it out. And the nose, this needs a little bit of definition. Very, very light tracing just around the nose. And I'm going to do a little bit just around this part of the mouth as well. See, my threads are fraying here. I'll pull them off. Yeah, this is the nice part. I know I'm coming close to the end when I'm starting to do this kind of thing. The last thing I'm going to be doing is taking this to the machine and over stitching it. Now, I would love to be able to hand stitch all that. It's down. This is already affixed down. I use this kind of thing to put it down. So it's not going to come off, but I like to just put a little stitching on it as well. However, there's so many layers of jeans here. I cannot hand stitch this. It would kill my hand. And it might actually not go so well with the machine either. But I'm going to give it a try. Now, you won't see this when it's hanging on the wall, but you'll see the effect of it, which is what I want. So one other thing, see, I darkened this up with some watercolor here, and that popped the teeth out. And one other thing that I want to do is I want to figure out how to put her collar on. I'll show you her collar that she wore. Just want to cap this off so it doesn't dry up on me. This is the collar that she wore, and these are her tags. The last tags that she had, her license and all her shots. So I want to take this apart, and I want to put this on the neck with the tags hanging down. But this is a very heavy collar, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I got to think on it. I might hang the piece. I'm going to quilt this, actually. I was going to mount it on a board, like I usually do on one of those frame boards. But I think I want it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put batting under it. And I'm just going to quilt around the dog, just, you know, follow the outline of it. But I think she's coming along pretty good. I got a lot of work to do here on the eye. The eye has to come out a lot. And Molly had a floppy ear like this. So that's why this one has the floppy ear. So it's coming along. I'm going to get this finished because I want it up on my wall. That's what I've been spending my time doing this week. I actually had a really rotten couple of days with the arms. Mostly my own fault. I decided, Gary had washed all the windows outside, and I've been kind of putting off doing the inside, and so I decided a couple of days ago that I would wash the insides of the windows. And I thought, oh, well, this is good exercise for my arm, so I'll use my right arm. And oh my gosh, I did. I did 7 windows. I still have 4 more to go. We have a lot of windows in this house. But it just finished me. It really did. I had a horrible couple of days. I couldn't even move my arm. So, yeah, lesson learned. Don't overdo it. But it's getting better. So I'm not knitting or doing anything like that right now. I'm just doing this. It's a little kinder on the arm. So Molly's coming along. Don't you think? What do you think? Give me your ideas here. And anybody have an idea how I'm going to get this on? I need help with that one. I can usually figure things out, but actually, this is the reason that I haven't been working on the dog all this time, because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I am going to take it apart, but it's still a very heavy piece. If I could somehow, I don't know. I might not put the whole thing. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But I will save these end pieces because they might come in handy for a buckle for something else. She wore this in honor of me. So I'm going to continue on. I got to work on the eye. I am also going to put some eyelashes on her like I did on Levi. And I'm going to use the strings from the jeans that I did. I don't know about the collar though. I really want to put this one on. I mean, I could make a collar out of a piece of blue jean, like I did the bridle on Levi. I could do the same idea, but I want this one because this was hers. So yeah, I keep going back to that, don't I? Okay, so there's my Molly so far. She's coming along pretty good. And yeah. So that is what I've been up to this week. It's been a more, I don't know, a different week for me. I haven't gotten much knitting done because of my arm, but hopefully I'm on the mend with that. I did want to share with you a couple of things that I got in the mail. And I did get my cross-stitch, hold on. I did get my cross-stitch ornament. Thank you for everybody who offered to send me one. It finally did come. And right off the bat, the very first thing I see is this bird and this cat. And if you can't imagine how, or if you can imagine how if I could get my hands behind my back, my one arm, I'd have somebody tie them there because I so want to do, especially the bird. I want to do the bird for my tree, but I have other things I have to do. But yeah, it's very tempting. And I would love to do the cat for my son's tree because he has cats. So yeah, but there's lots of really nice things in here. As usual, this is a great book and well worth the wait. So it'd be hard pressed to find something in here that I didn't want to make. But then I was surfing Amazon and I found, well, actually, no, that's not true. I was on Facebook and this book came up for sale. And I've been kind of caught on some of those things that pop up on Facebook. So I went to Amazon to see if they had it, and it was actually cheaper on Amazon. So I ordered this book, The Doodle Knit Directory. And it is full of, well, I'll show you what it's full of. Because I want to start adding some different elements to my socks and hats. And this is full of little templates of every kind for color work. It has sweaters, hats, birds, snowmen, houses, reindeers, penguins, umbrellas, coffee cups, boots, leaves, flowers. It is amazing. Owls, pumpkins, foxes, raccoons. What else has it got? Just like patterns, snowflakes, bear paws. It is amazing. Every kind of thing that you could imagine. And at the back, it has patterns that you can actually follow, pattern recipes. So there's mittens, there's socks, there's cowls. Actually, I'm going to put together a cowl like this. After Christmas, I'm going to use some of these patterns and I'm going to do a cowl because I really love those cowls that are all color work like that. I think they're just gorgeous. There's hats. So they have recipes in here for things that you can make with all these doodles, but I'll just sort of flip through the doodles for you. I'll stand up very quickly. It's kind of hard to do with one arm, especially one arm that doesn't work. I should have just done this overhead, shouldn't I? Let's get past this part here. Hold on. Okay, we'll go through it like this, just to give you an idea of some of the things in here. Cats, chickens, butterflies, flowers. Look at this, isn't this gorgeous? I like this too. I like absolutely everything in here. And this book was not overly expensive at all. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't. I think it was, look at the glasses. How cute is that? Bubbles, trees, fish, sun, leaves, bear paws, house, camera, picnic, fire, boots, coffee cup, pumpkins, owls, fox, squirrels, raccoon, sheep. And it just goes on and on and on. So there's over 200 doodles in here. So if you're like me and you want to design your own color work for your own projects, this is a perfect little book for it. And then the other thing is, I think I've told you that I'm not confident in walking. And I've been thinking, how can I be more confident? And I think the way that I would be more confident is if I had a really good walking stick. I have a cane, but I don't want to walk with a cane. And so I looked for walking sticks, and I don't want the metal kind. I want a nice carved top walking stick. You know, the really artsy-fartsy ones? So I have a lot of willow growing in my hedges. And every year we cut out these willow, and I've been stockpiling this willow, thinking I was going to make some kind of a structure for my garden. But now I'm going to start whittling my own walking stick. And again, this book is full of not only ideas, but patterns that you can follow to whittle your own topping. So that's a next year's project. This would be a really great winter project, would it not? But look at how cute. Why would you want some metal thing when you can have something that looks like that? So I got that book too. plans for next year. So I'm going to leave all of this with you now, and I will come back next week with hopefully some finished projects, because I'm trying to get caught up with my own self. But here is a close-up of Olive's bear, and thank you for joining me. Have a great week, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. So here is a little close-up of Olive's bear. We'll start at the top. In her ear, she has a Mickey here, or pretend Mickey, I guess, and a puppy in this ear. And there's her face. It's a lot of little pieces of fabric, all hand-stitched and all stitched. There's some stitching on these flowers here. And then I made her a little scarf because she's going to be living in the Yukon. But underneath the scarf, there's all kinds of fancy stitches. She has a heart. She has a saying on her tummy, "Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you." And that's from Seuss. On her arm here, it's all hand stitched. It says, "I love Olive." And then she has a little pocket on her arm with a doll. And the doll is attached to a string, so she can pull the doll out and then push it back in. And then on her legs here, there's a little bird. This was off of a piece that my mom stitched, so this is from her great-great-grandmother stitching right there. And I just added a little bit of eyelash yarn and a little blingy bow. The bottom of her foot has a little, I don't know if that's a squirrel or a hedgehog. And then there's a puppy here, or a bear, sorry. And inside of this foot, there's a button and some lace and a lot of stitching. I stitched all of this on the bottom of her foot. And on the other side of her foot is a stitched lamb. 1,000,001 little stitches there. Some blanket stitching. And then woof. It's supposed to be, this one made it upside down for some reason, so it could be tomb or woof, whichever way. The hands is stitched on here. And on this hand, there's a different stitching. And then on the back, she's got a baby Donald duck. There's a flower here, a hand stitched. Some rickrack and a bunch of different stitches here. And the back of her head has some couching. This is couched on here, I think. No, it's not. Sorry, I thought it was. Some little round stitching. There's lots of French knots in here. I did not add any beads because it is for a child. There's a puppy on the back of this ear and a cat on the back of this ear. Yeah, I purposely did not put any beads on it because she's only 2 years old. So that is Olive's little bear. Olive is gonna, there's a little flower on the side of her face. And these fabrics in here are from different eras of family. This piece here was from my great-grandmother, and that would be, my brother was Olive's great-grandfather. So that would be great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers to Olive. 3 greats, so 7 generations of fabric right there. And there's fabric from different generations all through our family history in here. There's fabric from me, there's fabric from my aunt, there's fabric from great-grandma Owens, and there's fabric from my mom, which would be a great-great-grandmother. So yeah, very special little bear. And I didn't give it a name, that's up to Olive. And I am going to ask Olive's mom to record her opening of this. This is going to be a Christmas present for Olive. She won't be opening it till Christmas, but I'm really looking forward to her reaction to seeing her special bear. Oh, and on her arm, it's a little magic can take you a long way, and there's a little flower there. So that is Olive's bear. And that is the end of this series on slow stitching a bear. Thank you all for joining me in this, and those of you who are making a bear of your own. I hope you are enjoying the process, and I hope you love your bear as much as I love this little one. Now I want to start my memory bear. I have it all cut out, and I have a few stitches put into it, but there's just too much going on right now, getting ready for Christmas. So I'm going to concentrate on getting my bear going in the new year, when I can actually sit down and really enjoy the stitching part. But this has been fun. I have enjoyed this. I'm going to miss this little one so much. And I hope that you are enjoying your bear too. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming along with me. This meant a great deal to me to have you come along and share the process with me. And I hope you love your bear when you get her done.